Good evening, everyone. Good evening for everyone who is joining us via live stream, and welcome to Good Friday. We're so delighted that you've joined us for this service. In Unity, we are a positive and progressive faith, and we really do focus on the resurrected Christ. That's just that. That's the place we are. But this is the day that we want to take time to recognize in a deep and meaningful way that the crucifixion is a necessary part of transformation. And so it feels a little somber, but that's okay. That we are here to, Reverend Jean Marie gave us the title for our service tonight, The Gifts of the Tomb. That even though we're not at the resurrection yet, there are gifts here for us. I think you're going to love this service, that each of the ministers has chosen one of the gifts that came to each of us. We just sat around a table, and this is what I would like to bring, and each of us just going to share what that is. And you'll be invited to join us in an affirmation of that. Reverend Jean Marie, Reverend Sheila, and I are going to be bringing music through the whole service, and then we'll be giving you space to just contemplate and meditate upon what it is you've been receiving. So I invite you just to join me now in prayer as we begin tonight. Opening our hearts, opening our minds. Feeling that we are moving through a time of great change. Metaphysically, we are dying to all that is not the truth of the Christ Spirit. Dying to the ego patterns, the false beliefs and error thoughts. Releasing our idea of who we thought we had to be in this world. Knowing that transformation is assured. That the life of God cannot be held in the tomb forever. But on this night, we sit in this holy space and we just simply say, show us what's here, God. Show us what's here. So I bless all who are a part of this service. I bless this amazing ministerial team at Unity of Houston. I bless our staff and volunteers. I bless all of our members who are here in Houston and those who are joining us from around the world as we gather on this holy night to be blessed, to be transformed. Thank you, God. We pray this in the name and the nature of Jesus Christ. Amen.
And I'm so grateful to be here at Unity, together at Unity on this beautiful spring day, that we get to bring our cares, our concerns, our celebrations, our whole selves into this moment. And so we're invited to share with this community our gifts, our talents, our skills, our treasures. And you can give online through the text to give or through the website. Thank you for those of you who are in the room today. Together, let us affirm our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. So it is. Amen.
This is a song we used to sing on many Sunday mornings here at Unity. We invite you to join us as we sing it together. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush upon us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush upon us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Blessings to each and every one of you. As we reflected on what we were choosing to be our theme, our informed choice for tonight, the one thing that never surprises me is that, of course, and it probably doesn't surprise you, is that I chose forgiveness. And the reason I chose forgiveness is that I have been blessed to be given the opportunity to transform my life and to expand the time in which I was given to live on this earth because of forgiveness. And that is the energy that guides me each and every moment of each and every day and opens me up to forgive everyone for everything. And the powerful thing about bringing forth forgiveness now, as we are discussing and sharing and singing about the journey of our elder brother, Wayshower and master teacher Jesus the Christ, is that he was the master of forgiveness. And my favorite scripture is where he says, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." And that helped me so much in my life, because there was a period of time in which I was told that I was going to die. And it was the searching deeply within me and in my life to look at what had brought me to that place in my life. What was bringing me to a cross experience. And what I realized was that there had been things occurring in my life that I had held on to that brought me so much pain and so much hurt. And I grew up as a person who liked to love. But what I didn't understand was that with the love there needed to be forgiveness, and I was taking in all of the pain of the love that I wasn't receiving. Until I was told I had 6 months to 2 years to hang around. And I began to explore, and someone brought me to Unity. And the things that I have discovered about forgiveness is the favorite affirmative statement that our elder brother said on that cross, with a crown of thorns here and nails, and my beloveds, I'm talking about nails about this size in his hands and nails in his 2 feet together. And he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And the power of that statement is that when someone is hurting us or seeking to hurt us, their desire is to have us feel the hurt, because evidently we've either done something to them or in some way we have not allowed ourselves to notice that their attacks are calls for love. But when I began to seek what would help me to free myself from the pain I was carrying, and my aunt brought me here to this Unity Church. And Sig Paulson message that day was, you can heal your life. And I began to look for, to delve into, to speak with him and other people about what can I do to heal the pathway that brought me to the place where I am being put on a cross of death. And so forgiveness is my favorite thing. Those of you who know me, I teach forgiveness. I do workshops on forgiveness. I speak on forgiveness because I truly understand that it is the gift we give ourselves. And as we walk through this pandemic, and if you think about it, pandemic, a part of that word comes from pandemonium. And the key to navigating this pandemonium, this rage, this fear, this violence, was to find that central place of our being and to say what our elder brother said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. You see, my beloveds, forgiveness is the gift we give ourselves. When we forgive people, it's not for them. Because if we hold on to the hate, to our desire to hurt them because they've hurt us, we began to take into our body system more and more and more energy that brings us further and further down in the depths of our despair and our pain and suffering. And the key thing in all of this, forgiveness, is the gift we give ourselves. And when we say, forgive them, because they do not know what they are doing, we are not letting them off the hook. We are letting ourselves off the hook. Because the longer we carry that unforgiveness, the more it eats away at the fiber of our being and creates illness and all kinds of physical, mental, and emotional ailments. And so the key for uplifting our being when we have been hurt, when we have been brought down, when we find ourselves in despair at the hands of another, is to be willing to forgive. And I tell my clients, you can be willing to be willing to be willing to be willing. As long as you offer to the universe, to God, to the I am, your little willingness, trust me, the I am will do the rest. And that is how we move forward to a place where we can free ourselves from what we are carrying because of the hurt. And we are freeing them to find the pathway to their own forgiveness for what they have done. And I'd like to leave with you an affirmation for tonight. And so I just want to invite you for a moment. Let us go into that center place of our being just for a moment. And imagine that you're breathing in and out through your heart. And repeat after me. The forgiving love of the Christ in me cleanses me of all past mistakes. Together. The forgiving love of the Christ in me cleanses me of all past mistakes. One more time. The forgiving love of the Christ in me cleanses me of all past mistakes. And just breathe that in for a moment. Breathe it in.
Everything that I've been holding on
Sometimes I find myself in darkness. And I mean that. I find myself in darkness. Sometimes if I'm just enjoying playing in the light, it's a very different experience than if I'm having the quiet contemplation, the introspection, the learning that comes from allowing myself to wait, to rest, to learn in the darkness. So when I find myself in a space of darkness, there's usually two reasons why. One is I created it. I did something, I said something, I was less than my best self, I affected other people, I'm not happy with the situation that I either created or contributed to. And then the other way I find myself in the space of darkness is activities that are out of my control. I'm watching my parents age. I watch family members make interesting decisions. I watch people move away. And so sometimes it's not maybe something I've chosen, but it's life experience. And I've learned to embrace all of it, embrace the fullness of the human experience. Because there's basically two things that happen, the gifts of the darkness. And one is that I find light in other people. I find people who are willing to pray, sit vigil. There's so many resources. There's books, there's videos, there's podcasts. There's lots of people doing amazing, wonderful work in this world, and I can draw on all of those resources. When I don't have the light within my own being, I can find light out there that gives me hope that I can connect with. And then the other gift is when I sit in the darkness, when I allow myself to be in the darkness without resisting, without pushing against, without fighting it, eventually I do find the light within my own being. I find that there is light within, and that light can emerge, and that I can see in the dark, I can walk in the dark, I can make peace with the darkness. In the Bible, there's a story of Samuel when he's young. He hears God's voice calling to him, and he says, "Here I am, send me." And I've found that we don't just have to say yes to grand adventures and high-profile activities. I can say, "Here I am, send me," to learn more about my fears, about my woundedness, about all the opportunities that I have to continue to progress in consciousness and progress in this life. So I can say yes to going into the cave. In the cave is where the dragon is, and the dragon's hiding the treasure, so in the cave is where the treasure is also. So I say yes to this life. I say yes to the whole experience, because I have this feeling that as human beings, if we were to experience extended periods of bliss and tranquility and harmony and balance, we'd find some way to mess it up. We'd find some way to bring some discord, because we like surprises sometimes. We like to be challenged. We like something new and different. It's almost like stagnation is contrary to nature. Of course, we need to rest and relax and take care of ourselves, but just being stagnant just seems contrary to nature. So we find ways to be challenged. And I know through these challenges, I grow and I learn and I progress. So an affirmation is, I accept the fullness of the human experience. Together. I accept the fullness of the human experience. Thank you.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. For now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am kinder every moment, every day. I am more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day. My gift of the tomb that I'm sharing tonight is trust. This topic, Gifts of the Tomb, was inspired in me through a story that I had heard in Prosperity Plus, which is a class that we offer here at Unity, and it includes video content with Mary Morrissey, amazing spiritual teacher, And she shares a story of how she went through a dark night of the soul experience. And she was praying, and Spirit said to her, "What did he do on Saturday?" What did he do on Saturday, Jesus? So the Gospels don't tell us anything about that. They tell us about Friday and Sunday. And Saturday, what did he do in the tomb? So the gift of the tomb, of that time in between the crucifixion, and there's that fallow time before the resurrection, before the light returns. My experience that I'd like to share with you tonight is about a being that is very near and dear to me. It's about my doggie. My first dog, our first dog, we got him in 2005, and he was a tricolor beagle, about 4 pounds, 7 weeks old, the cutest little baby, adorable, darling thing you ever did see. And when I first held him, he was wrapped in a blanket, and he had been on a plane and traveled to the place where we picked him up, so he was drowsy and out of it, and we would joke that he was wrapped in swaddling clothes. We named him Bono. We were U2 fans, and he was he lived up to his cool name. He was in the New York Post as one of New York's cutest dogs. He also was on an episode of Dogs 101 on Animal Planet about beagles. And at Unity of New York, which was our church, they made a dog calendar, and he was the dog for October. And if you know U2, then you know the connection between October and Bono. So he was really like our first child. We put him in outfits. I don't think he liked that, but we liked it. Women would stop him on the street and want to take pictures with him. It was really crazy. He was just so cute. Years later, we moved here, moved to Texas, and he started to age. And in January of 2020, pre-pandemic, it was really evident that he was in the last stages of his life, and we let him age for probably maybe longer than we needed to. It felt like he had cataracts, he had hearing problems, he was very slow, and he was messing in the house, and he had sundowners, and he was howling and barking all night, and my husband was getting up and taking him out a lot, and we were all tired and also bereft that a choice had to be made. And I had never faced the choice of choosing to end a life, especially a family member, a beloved family member. And that's where the trust came in, and just really knowing that it was time. And so when we took him to release his life, and he was shaking and he was so anxious, and it was just so heartbreaking. And the first thing they do is they give him a tranquilizer, and he was suddenly calm and the most peaceful I'd ever seen him. So calm. And it just was like a sigh of relief, like we could all just go, he's free. Just felt that freedom. And we were able to let him go. And it was hard. I think that we try to honor the grief of losing a pet, but it's like, oh, you lost your dog, you lost your cat, oh. And it kind of comes in waves, because you're used to this being around the house, and it feels like, was that just him? Like you feel he's still walking around, and his energy is with us. And I'm grateful that I'm part of a church where there's an animal kinship ministry, and Judith Donaldson drew a drawing on a card of our dog with angel wings. It was very healing to us. It really meant a lot to us. And the pandemic came in March, and we're still like, wow, we're hitting this, and we lost our dog. This is a bummer year. And then come around May, it felt like it was time to come out of the tomb. We felt like we're dog people, and there's space now. Enough time has passed, and it just feels like we need to welcome another family member. And we applied for so many dogs. Everybody was applying for dogs. We could not get a dog for beans. It just wasn't happening. And I thought, okay, well, that's, we just keep being with it and trusting. And one day, David went on Pet Finder, and he found this picture of the cutest little Pomeranian mixed Duchess. And I saw her and I said, that's our dog. We are getting that dog. And we put in an application, and we drove up to College Station to this house where she was being fostered. And another couple had gone before us to look at Duchess, and they chose another dog. And we got to see her, and we're like, that's definitely our dog. And we've been so blessed. She's been such a light. And we know that Bono's love is always with us, and he's just always a part of our family. But there is that trust in the darkness of the pain of the grief, and feeling that emptiness, the emptiness of the tomb, and kind of what's going to fill this space where our dog was. I'm so grateful that Spirit brought us this new life. It brought us so much joy, our sweet Duchess. And so I invite you to join with me in affirming, I trust life. I trust in God. Let's know that together. I trust life. I trust in God. Breathe that in. And let go.
Thankful, so grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender. I surrender. I trust in God. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender, I trust in God. I remember, I remember, I remember, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I remember, I remember, I trust in God. I remember, I remember, I remember, I am one in the Spirit all around me. I remember, I remember, I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God.
So in considering the idea of what gifts can come out of the tomb, knowing that the tomb itself is a crucible of transformation, that what went in will be healed, transformed, changed on the other side, in the other experience, in the next life, and whatever happens after that. But what precedes every transformation, every change that we've ever gone through, is an act of courage, something of the heart. Courage is a word that is rooted in the heart. It is actually is coming from the heart. It is a passion, and it is an answer to a call. And it is also a response from the heart for what is about to change, what is being called forth for the new thing to arise. I know that in all of the different things I have done in my life that are new for me, something really scary, that's how I know it's something new, right? I'm scared. I haven't done it before. Maybe I won't succeed. Maybe I won't be good enough. Maybe it won't happen. But I have to walk past all of my own fears, including those that I imagine that others will say. All of the naysayers are how others will think. And I have to, for me, breathe into my own heart and watch the breath and feel the pace of my own heart beat. That when your heart races, when you're scared, when you anticipate, when you need some courage or you feel it, the downbeat is the familiar fear, right? But the upbeat is the acceleration. But what if I do it? But what if I succeed? How exciting. I'm getting goosebumps already, just thinking about it. It's terribly exciting to find that the courage within us is the breath of our future self. It is already the heartbeat, the pattern, the rhythm of who I am becoming, even tantalizingly close. Before I actually take this step, I'm already leaning into it, and it is already breathing me. I'm already becoming it. That's what the call of the heart actually does. Hafiz wrote in this translation by Daniel Ladinsky, how did the rose ever open its heart and give to this world all of its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remain too frightened. Breathing, feeling, holding a vision, letting that vision call us forward. And even if it doesn't work out, because sometimes, it doesn't work on the first try, right? Maybe it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. Maybe it was really another direction, but it's close. So if you step out in it,
you step out closer to your next self, and you're already changed because you're not that person anymore. You're now this one. And you can't really go back, only forward, because the new you has claimed you and already breathes your breath. And so for our affirmation this evening, I offer this. My future self breathes courage through me, even now. Together, my future self breathes courage through me, even now. And so it is.
I am one of many with just one life to live. The gifts I have, great and small, I give them all. I give. Simply, purely from my soul, I give. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. And here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. With open heart, I love. With open mind, I know the truth within me. With open eyes, I see the gift unfold. I give my open hand for you to hold. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. I'm feeling it deep. So much of our work in this teaching, in our tradition, is to say what we want and co-create it with God. We hold an image. Remember our principle of the law of mind action, that thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. And we get a little big for our britches. We begin to think we can control everything. If I don't like the way I'm feeling, I can just think a happy thought. If I don't like the way the world is treating me, I can just think a different experience. And Michael Beckwith talked about the 4 kingdoms of consciousness. The first is to me. Oh, poor me, I'm a victim. The second is by me. This is where a lot of us come into unity. I've got power now, but there are other stages beyond that. The third is through me. And then finally, when we merge back into oneness as me. I don't know anyone that lives there. I don't think we do that while we have bodies. I could be wrong. You all might be that, and you're just like, oh, poor Michael. He'll get there someday. But I think that through me space is where we want to move to. It's too much work to control the world. It will drain the life out of us to just affirm everything away. Now, don't get me wrong. I affirm. Don't get me wrong. I use the law to create new and higher conditions in my life all the time. And I come up to those tomb experiences where my affirmation is not moving it. So the gift of the tomb that I bring to us tonight to consider is patience. I was taught to never pray for patience because God will give you things that require it. And I used to believe that, but now I've come to think of it differently. And what I was really thinking about, tomb and womb is just one letter away on Wordle. And really, the tomb is a birthplace. It's a place of gestation, of something new being born. And I have never given birth. It's not a surprise to any of you. Many of you have. But I remember when my mom was about 2 weeks past her due date for my little brother. She was ready for that child to come out. But I know friends of mine who've been ready at like month 3. It's not time yet. It requires patience. There is a natural order in the process of a baby taking 9 months. And we don't always know the number of days and months and hours that our transformation is going to require, but there is a process and we can trust it. And so we can take our controlling grip off of it and surrender and be patient. God's got you. It's going to be so good. And until we know what the next looks like, let's be patient. I have a quote that I've got right here on my magical phone. The poet Rilke, in his letters to a young artist. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves, like locked rooms and like books that are now written in a very foreign tongue. Do not now seek the answers which cannot be given you because you would not be able to live them yet. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. And perhaps then gradually, without even noticing it, live along into some distant day into the answer. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart. So would you affirm with me, I trust the process God is creating in me. I trust the process God is creating in me. Thank you.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I will love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I will love myself like a newborn baby child. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child.
We can feel the depth of this evening with your presence. We prepared different ideas to share with you, and yet the depth of your receptivity and your presence here in this room and even online, we can feel the depth of your openness and receptivity of your love. And so we are all blessed by this evening, and we are so grateful for those of you who have come to be with us in person and those of you who are watching and being a part in spirit with us. We also would like to invite you and remind you that Sunday's a big day for us. I trust it'll be a big day for you too, and to be able to come back together on campus again and really celebrate Easter together. We can't wait. So we hope that you'll be a part of that with us, the 11 o'clock service and the extravaganza family activities that follow with Easter egg hunt and petting zoo and all kinds of falderall. We hope that you'll be a part of that with us. Thank you so much for joining us on this evening.
I'd like to just thank our ministers, Reverend Karen Tudor, Reverend Sheila Gautreau, Reverend Shirley Knight, Reverend Jean Marie Eck, and I'm Michael Gott. Let's give some love to our ministers here at Unity. I invite you to stand as you're able as we do our closing song, Blessed Always. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming.